Wembu, right?
Yes, it's the street that you were situated on. That was the beginning of Liberia, the oldest church in Liberia, Providence Baptist Church. 1822 was established right there.
It's still there.
Okay.
So you got Providence Baptist Church, you got J.J. Roberts' house, you got College of West Africa that came later because they had to educate people. CWA.
Yeah.
It's the oldest high school in Liberia. Then you had the Mesherado River. That used to be called Stockton Creek, named after Captain Robert F. Stockton, who later on became an admiral in the U.S. Navy, but I'll get to that. So Slipway was the first port of entry. So that's some of J.J. Roberts' impacts.
Okay.
All right? So that was like the dock. They used to call it the wharf.
The wharf.
That was the wharf. That was where ships used to come. The Americo-Liberians decided that the Congolese could quicker relate to them than the natives found here, like the Kru, the Gribble, the Gola, and the Dane. The people that were here.
What about the Bassa people?
The Bassa people were on their side.
Okay.
The Bassa and Mamba, they were up where you call Mamba Point now. They had not started selling land to the Americo-Liberians yet.
Okay.
It was a whole batch of slaves that didn't reach their destination because their ship was arrested on sea and then diverted to Monrovia.
So these are the same people while growing up we refer to them as Congo people?
You refer to them as Congo people.
Oh.
But those are sons of Americo-Liberians and Congolese slaves.
And you see what he's talking, I just want to share something that I read during the 1980 riot. I was very small, but I still remember that native woman born soldier.
Yeah.
Soldier man kid Tovo. So you see there was segregation. So you see now the native people were bragging, referring to Samuel Kayando.
Yeah.
And as Samuel
because he was an indigenous.
Yeah. My late father had me on his shoulder back then. And then we saw the execution live.
To be honest with this panel, I just want to let you know something. Our most major problem with regards to moving forward, progress and development, we need mental rehabilitation. First, every Liberian, mental rehabilitation.
And why you say that?
I say it because the mindset of Liberians have been ruined. How many Liberians will sit down and will be ready to listen to the actual status of their self as a person or their actual historicity? How many Liberians are patient to do that? I tell you what, when the coup happened in 1980, we'll start from there. When the coup happened in 1980, right? It wasn't every Americo-Liberian that was in the government, but every Americo-Liberian was a target.
Yeah.
1990, it wasn't every crown that was in the Liberian government.
Definitely.
Samuel Doe is from one crown, other people from other crown. But guess what? The ethnic group crown was generalized and were targeted. Samuel Doe, vice versa, targeted every Gio. Whether you were from Beleglie, or you were from Seklepie, or you were from Blood Diala, you were considered one Gio and you were a target only because you're from Nimba County.
Yeah.
You are watching
The Daddy Rich Podcast, only on Serious.
Welcome to the Daddy Rich Podcast. I'm your host, Daddy Rich. We got a very good show for you guys tonight. Listen, wherever you are, if you're sitting in your room, in your living room, wherever it is, get something to drink. Get a little coffee, get a little water, get a little tea, whatever it is, and sit back. Because today's show, we're going to be talking a lot about Liberia history. There's some information that some of you guys don't know of. Some of the information myself I'll be getting to learn of. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this show. But before I go further, let my co-host introduce himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself, the pretty.
He didn't say beautiful today.
Nah.
He didn't say the beautiful mind.
Oh, you noticed that, right? You
I was waiting for the beautiful mind so I can eat my show.
I know.
And say when he said beautiful, he's talking about me. Because I'm the only beautiful person. Anyways, hi guys. You already know it's Myron. And yeah, we're back again today. I'm so excited about today's episode because we will be learning a lot And when I say a lot, you know what I mean. So this is the Daddy Rich podcast. Make sure to subscribe. And as my host said, just get some kind of coffee or your chill cook because it's going to be late in here today.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
All right, man. What's up? This is your boy, man. Capital WEEGO, DJ Wego. I'm the Fresh Boy, Fresh Daddy. And I'd like to welcome you guys to another great episode of the Daddy Rich podcast. And today is going to be something wonderful. So make sure you invite somebody along to enjoy all of the action, man. Keep it locked.
Yes, before we go further, we just want to make you guys understand, please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend because we are creating a community of brilliant mind people so we all can share our ideas together and learn together because there's some information we're going to be providing some of you guys haven't heard of. So create a family, get along. But before I go further, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we got a very, very special guest. You know, we can't just say special for everybody. Some people are special. But this guest that we got on today, he's very brilliant. He's going to teach us some of the history that we need to know because I know some people out there, most especially the Gen Z, you got to know some of these things. And we're not only going to talk about just fun stuff. We want to talk about educational stuff. So today, our guest is no other than the one and only Spider. Welcome to the show, Spider.
Thank you so much, D Rich. Thank you, Maron. Thank you, Fresh Boy. Yeah. Happy New Year to the panel.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to the technical crew.
2026.
Happy
Yes,
2026.
we made it.
You know, glad we made it. Glad we crossed over.
Yeah.
So thank God, you know, and I'm happy being here. It's a pleasure sitting here in your cozy spot, you know. So I love it being here. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, before we get into our question, I want to ask, so far, how did 26 going? So far, how did New Year going?
New Year, you know,
25 like, ran too fast.
Yeah, 2025 ran. You know, 2025 really ran. You know, but we look forward to a superb 2026, and we pray to stay healthy, stay strong, to hustle. You know.
Okay.
So and God bless Liberia.
Okay. We're just gonna go down a question because I think our audience can't wait to get some of this information.
They're excited.
They're excited because Liberian in the diaspora waiting to get some of this information. Some of them know, but not everyone of them. Like some of us who got kids that was born in the diaspora or living out of Liberia don't know some of this information. So, who are some of the impactful presidents we had in the past or in our whole Liberia history? Not in the past, president, whatever. The impactful one, the one that makes statement, the one that changed things, good or bad. Is all our president the same, or there are some of them that you know that stood out among the rest?
Well, it's a natural thing for you to have a whole bunch, and then you have standouts.
Okay.
You know, so for Liberia, there are a few presidents out of the 20 plus presidents that we've had.
Okay.
There are a few of them who have been impactful, positively and negatively, and there are very few. And I think I can call some names.
That'll be good.
The father of the nation, Joseph Jenkins Robert, Charles Dunbar Burgess King, Edward James Roy, Edwin Barkley, William V.S. Tubman, William Richard Talbot, Samuel Doe.
Okay.
So that's 5 or 6?
5 or 6.
Out of
20.
Out of 20 plus.
Wow.
I think that we've had up to 22.
And they're not all known for positive things.
No, you know, when positivity is what we go for first in life. You know, you think about the good side of things, then you think about the bad side of things. But I'm talking about guys who have been impactful. You know, in both ways, but multiple times. You know, multiple things they've done that's been impactful, either positively or negatively on the Liberian nation.
So to start, let's go to Joseph Jenkins Roberts. I was told that he ruled twice. So let's hear from him first.
Yeah, President Roberts ruled Liberia twice. He ruled Liberia from 1848 for 4 years, and then he came back after the death of Edward James Roy. After the assassination of Edward James Roy, he ruled again. I can't specifically remember the years, but the years that he ruled for, but he ruled Liberia twice.
So I'm coming. Joseph Jigirawa was the first president.
Yes.
So then after he left the seat, who took over?
Stephen Allen Benson
and
took over.
He ruled twice.
He ruled twice. Back? No, not back to back. He didn't rule 2 straight terms.
So I want to know.
He ruled Liberia after the assassination of Edward James Roy.
When Edward James Roy was there, but then he was.
Joseph James Roy wasn't president anymore.
Oh, okay.
He was the president of Liberia College.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, Joseph Jenkins Roberts served in diverse positions in Liberia. He was president of, he was the Republic of Liberia's first president.
Mm-hmm.
He was the deputy governor general before Liberia became independent, before Liberia declared her independence. He pushed for the Declaration of Independence. J.J. Roberts became the first president of Liberia College. Joseph Jenkins Roberts became Liberia's ambassador and special envoy to the United States. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Joseph Jenkins Roberts became the chief of staff of the Liberia Frontier Force.
Joseph Jenkins Roberts?
He was out of the army, yes.
Wow.
He was a major general. So Joseph Jenkins Roberts served in diverse capacities, different capacities. And the ironical part about it, Joseph Jenkins Roberts was the first president of Liberia College who did not obtain a formal education. He was self-taught.
Oh.
He taught himself how to read and write, just by being around people that could read and write.
High school, nothing?
No, nothing.
Wow.
Liberia's first president with a college degree was Edwin Barclay. And he became president of Liberia in 1930.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know that. So the other president, I want to be a little controversial a little bit because when you look at Liberia, like you said, we got more than 20 different presidents and more than 20. Some of us, we're trying to figure out the number.
Right.
But it would look, to me, calling 6 out of the 20, I think there's 6. I need you to explain to me why you decide to go with the 6 and what are some of the things that it did that changed our history to the point that we Liberians need to know that, because even good or bad, but at least it changed our history. It gave something that Liberians sit back, oh, Judge Aguirre, first of all, I didn't even know Judge Aguirre ruled twice. I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? So some of these names that you mentioned, can you give us some of the reason why they stood out?
Okay, so I go back to Joseph Jenkins Roberts. Joseph Roberts was an American-Liberian, born in Norfolk, Virginia, came to Liberia at the age of 22. So he was already a man when he got here. Okay. You understand? He and his 6 siblings and their mother. Yeah. Okay. Euphemia Roberts. So he was the son of a Scottish American farmer. A white man. Joseph Jenkins Roberts' father was white. His mother was a high mulatto. So that's why biologically Joseph Jenkins Roberts was octoroon. That means he's higher than mulatto. Joseph Jenkins Roberts was the kind of white, he wasn't Caucasian, but he was the kind of white like the Lebanese, how Lebanese people are.
Okay.
That's how light he was. That's how he looked.
Like double H.
Yes, an octoroon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was octoroon.
Okay,
so go to where I say he stood out, right? Joseph Roberts and 4 others from the group that came, the pioneers, they declared independence after the death of the Governor General Thomas Buchanan, who was a white man, a Caucasian man. The man you named Buchanan Street after. The man you named Buchanan City after, Grand Bassa County.
Oh, okay.
Thomas Buchanan, yeah, he was a white man. So when Buchanan died from malaria. So when Buchanan died, Joseph Jenkins Roberts was Buchanan's deputy.
So Buchanan wasn't the president. He was just
a governor. He was a governor sent by the American Colonization Society. Liberia was never colonized by any country. Liberia was being taken care of by an NGO called the American Colonization Society.
Okay.
So Buchanan was the head representative of the American Colonization Society. And so Buchanan, but then Buchanan's deputy, Buchanan was Caucasian, was a white guy. Then Buchanan's deputy was a young Americo-Liberian called Joseph Jenkins Roberts, who was a successful young man, had like 3 ships, cargo ships, at the time, taking palm kernel and alligator pepper and stuff from Liberia in return for stuff from the United States like beads and mirrors, salt, smoked fish and stuff like that. Because those days, it was not too much of a monetary exchange. It was a barter system where goods were exchanged for goods.
Okay.
So, but Roberts...
So technically, he was wealthy.
He was wealthy.
Okay.
Roberts was a wealthy man in his day because where the American embassy is, at Mamba Point, not the new embassy, the embassy before this one was built across from the Masonic Temple. That property you see there by OCID Road is his residence. That's his private home. That was Joseph Jenkins Roberts' home. It still is. The Methodist Church, because he never had any children, the Methodist Church is receiving the lease from that place from the United States Embassy.
Wow.
And that's why you have the J.J. Roberts Foundation is an educational fund because he believed in education. He believed in educating Liberians.
Okay. And even up to this day, the J.J. Roberts Foundation still exists. Runs, especially if you're a brilliant student.
Yes.
They give you scholarship.
Right.
And I was told that Boulevard Palace, all of those land behind
the entire 12th Street.
Yeah, 12th Street.
Present day 12th Street. Yeah. From the beach to the end of the streets. Every lot of land that was purchased from that place, directly or indirectly, was purchased from either J.J. Roberts or from the Methodist Church. Yeah. But some way, somehow, it was through J.J. Roberts and Methodist Church because J.J. Roberts owned that particular part of what you call Syncor today.
And another thing I want to know, from William V.S. Tutmore, we still, see headlines, grandchildren from Joseph Jenkins Roberts.
No, Joseph Jenkins Roberts had one child that was born stillbirth.
Okay.
And the mother of that child was the daughter of another immigrant, another settler called Colston Warren. Colston Warren. If you read civics and all that, you will read about Colston Warren. And he was Caucasian too, but her mother was Negro. So she was mulatto. Yeah, her name was Mary Jane Warren.
Mary Jane Warren.
Now she and J.J. Roberts used to live. You know where the law library is? Yeah. Directly opposite the Bar Association office, right opposite the Centennial Pavilion.
Yeah, right.
Thank you very much. That was where that's J.J. Roberts' house there too.
Right there, across the street.
The house is still there. That house is over 180 years old.
Wow.
That house is about the age of Liberia. Yeah, that house, that brick house you see, adjacent CWA and opposite the Centennial Pavilion. Yeah. Yes, that's J.J. Roberts' house, and that's where she had the child, and that's where the child, the child was born stillbirth.
Okay.
And so he never had another child. So J.J. Roberts had no children at all.
Okay, and then J.J. Roberts, second time as president. There was election. They have parties by then.
Well, yeah, there were 2 parties in Liberia by then. There was the Republican Party that was ruled by the mulattoes, and there was the newly founded True Whig Party that was ruled by the Negroids, the dark skins. Now, you go back into history, you will find out that the first group of pioneers, the first 88 that came to what is now Monrovia, that came to what is now Providence Island.
So there were 88 in number.
There were 88.
Okay.
That there were more than 88, but some of them died in Freetown.
Yeah.
Some of them died in Shebro.
Yeah.
But the group that came here that were ushered in by Captain Robert F. Stockton, who was the captain of the ship that brought them in, they were mixed race. They were dark skinned and they were mulattoes, right? And so the mulatto group felt superior to the native, to the dark skin, sorry. So the mulatto group thought that it was superior. So, that racism that they ran away from the United States did not end from the South. Like Georgia, New Orleans, and everywhere else in the South, Tennessee. They kept it embroidered in them because they didn't change nothing. They still had that class system. But then the funny thing about it was the dark-skinned ones were more educated than the light-skinned ones.
Okay.
And you talk about the dark-skinned ones, you talk about people like Edward Wilmot Blyden, who was a scholar. You talk about people like what's the man named John Brown Rostrom, the man who did the first newspaper ever in West Africa. John Brown Rostrom. He broke away and went to the Republic of Maryland at the time. Maryland in Africa. Maryland County was a country all by itself. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And so he left.
You didn't know that.
I did not know that.
He left Monrovia because of the segregation. And he went to Maryland in Africa. This was another colony founded by the Maryland Colonization Society.
So apart from the ACS, they had
the Maryland Colonization Society, they had the Mississippi Colonization Society.
And
the people that founded Sino.
And with that, you're talking
what
about...
What is now Sino?
With that, you're talking about... I went to all of the counties, but Maryland is different. It's a layout. The horses there, you don't find it nowhere.
J.J. Roberts incorporated Maryland to Liberia because he did a favor for them during the Gribble War of 1854. That's how Maryland became a part of Liberia.
Remember I told you in history class,
in 1854. Right? Because J.J. Roberts, when the Gribbles decided to fight the colonists that had settled on their land, quote unquote, even because, the natives too were playing a smart game. These people, they're not plenty. And they come in, they won't buy our land for us, and then they will drive us off our land later on in left. So let's, like dealing drugs, you know what I mean? Yeah. Let's sell it to them. And we can fight them off
take them for it,
so they try that.
They knew the terrain. Yeah, the people who were buying it, they didn't even know the way around.
Just come in. So J.J. Roberts got the news that the Gribbles were fighting the colonists. And the colonists then, in return, called J.J. Roberts and said, listen, we need help. Ask for assistance. So J.J. Roberts said, if I help y'all to run the people out, then y'all got to join us. And they happily agreed.
They know how option.
And Liberia had one gunboat at the time that was given to Liberia by the late U.S. President Ulysses Grant. That was a president, and it was called the Rescue. That was the name of that gunboat. It was given to President E.J. Roy in 1870.
1870. Yeah. Wow.
Well, so some of the information.
It was officially given to Liberia in 1870. When J.J. Roberts then used it in 1854, it was still a U.S. gunboat. But it was officially turned over to Liberia in 1870.
So I wanted to ask you a question that it ran through my mind. So you telling me the colony that came from the States, did they get along?
No, they did not. They had a problem, and the problem was simply racist. The problem was racist. The dark-skinned were looked down at as second-class citizens. So that means you had the mulattoes, you had the dark-skinned, then you had the natives from here.
Oh.
Yes.
That's 3 different levels.
Yes. Then it became 4 different levels. It became 4 different levels when in 1864, the people from the Congo Basin, slaves from the Congo Basin that were rescued after the abolition of the slave trade, the Atlantic slave trade. After the abolition of the Atlantic slave trade, the British Navy arrested a Spanish ship on sea that had come out of the Congo Basin. The Congo Basin the Congo River is very large, so it enters the Atlantic. So this British ship, patrolling, saw the slave ship, Spanish slave ship, with over 300 slaves on board. Yeah. And they decided to bring these people to the most free place in Africa, Liberia.
Just Liberia.
And they brought these slaves to Liberia, and these slaves integrated with the Liberian people, and that's how the name Congo people came about. But I mean, I don't want to divert. We're talking about.
Hold on. I don't want you to divert either. No, we go. Listen, I'm an older guy that I've been around, and I haven't have time to learn my history that well. I tell people I raised out of the country more than living in Liberia.
Yeah.
All along, first and foremost, I'm shocked. I didn't even know we had the Congo people and the American Liberian. I yet think it was the same group of people. We just, as Liberian, decided to call them Congo and call them country. You know what I mean? I didn't know that it was a whole different group of people that came here. This information is so new to me. So, like I said, we all learning. Myron, is not only you alone, we both are. So they merged with them.
So they brought these Congolese
slaves
and they integrated with the people on the ground. By then, Liberia had extended from just because Liberia actually started on Providence Island.
Yeah.
Right? So by then, where you call Ashman Street was purchased from the natives, from King Yellow. It was called King Yellow. The men that sold that Ashman Street area, King Yellow.
Okay.
And they had King George, who had what you call a Crown Hill area there. So those are people willing to live with the people from America. Okay. So Liberia had extended by then. So that means, because your first official street is Ashman Street. The oldest street in Liberia. Ashman Street. The oldest path. Yes, Ashman Street. So Slipway you see now, where you see the Mesherado River.
Ashman Street that they went around UMU, right?
Yes, it's the street that UMU is situated on.
All right.
So, but that was the beginning of Liberia. The oldest church in Liberia, Providence Baptist Church, 1822, was established right there.
Yeah, still there. Okay.
So you got Providence Baptist Church, you got J.J. Roberts' house, you got College of West Africa that came later because they had to educate people. CWA.
Yeah.
It's the oldest high school in Liberia. Then so you understand that. So then you had the later on term the Mesherado River. That used to be called Stockton Creek, named after Captain Robert F. Stockton, who later on became an admiral in the U.S. Navy. But I'll get to that.
Talking about the Slipway building.
Slipway, yeah. So Slipway was the first port of entry. So that.
Okay.
All right. So that was like the dock. They used to call it the wharf.
The wharf.
That was the wharf. That was where ships used to come and dock. You know, when they say ships, they were small, wooden, stuff. So that's where ships used to come and dock. So these Congolese were brought in, but then the Americo-Liberians decided that the Congolese could quicker relate to them than the natives found here, like the Kru, the Gribble, the Gola, and the Dane. Are the people that were
What about the Bassa people?
The Bassa people were on their side.
Okay.
By then, the Bassa had not started getting too close to these guys, to the American Liberians. The Bassa and Mamba, they were up where you call Mamba Point now. They were not close to that place. So their land, they had not started selling land to the American Liberians yet.
Okay.
These people were still strangers and intruders so far as they saw it. So they thought that they could relate to the Congolese more than the natives, the native Liberians, quote unquote. So they started getting close to these people. They started having romantic relationships with these people, and then they started having children.
Okay.
And that's why you hear people say, this man is a Congo man.
It's a Congo man.
But back then, when they say this man's a Congo, in the 1800s, 1860 something, from that time on, when we hear them say a Congo man, that means a man that one of the slaves that came from Congo, not from America. No, the people that came from America were the settlers.
Wow.
Okay? So they were the settlers.
So,
hold on.
The indigenous people that are what they call the country people.
So
Because the settlers call them country people to differentiate.
So what I wanted to know, the Congo slave, are they slaves from America that went to Congo?
No.
Yes, from the country.
They were Congolese natives that were taken, that were intended to be taken to Britain, Portugal, Spain. It was a whole batch of slaves that didn't reach their destination because their ship.
Police director.
So that Joe Myers was the first police director after the coup.
Yeah, Joe Myers.
The last police director before the coup was what's the man name? Please God, don't do this to me. Funny Dempster.
And you see,
Funny Dempster was the last police director.
I'm just telling you, the racism has been there for long.
It's been there forever.
Because our people were bragging now, native woman, born soldier.
Yeah.
Soldier man killed Tobo.
Now, this was a 133-year-old situation. 133-year-old, April 12, 1980.
And in addition to what Aaron is saying, those people that were executed because I saw it live, they were all fair, mulatto. Yeah, the black people among them, they were few. Were few. Not even more
the
than
only
5.
dark skin among them was John Flammer Sherman. It was David Franklin Neal. Who else was dark? I think Charles King was dark. You had like 3 dark skins.
My late father had me on
Reginald Townsend.
My late father had me on his shoulder back then. And then we saw the execution live, where they get a park, the invisible park.
It was public.
It was public.
PHP Park.
Where they had a visible park. I mean, PHP Park now. That where the execution took place. So, I just retrospecting for me that the indigenous people too, they still have some hating agenda because growing up, I told you, they were breaking now. Native woman born soldier.
Yeah.
But soldier man killed Tovo.
Yeah.
So it been happening for long.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the local people felt that the Congo people was the elite and the Congo people were always in high position.
Yeah. And they were not, and you see, that name, that nomenclature was misinterpreted. Because those people, you can't call, for example, you couldn't call J.J. Roberts, you couldn't call him a Congo man. How? J. Roberts was born in Norfolk, Virginia, United States of America.
So, I mean,
Mother and father born in the U.S. J. Roberts is American Liberian, right? William R. Talbot, then I skip everybody, kind of Talbot, right?
Yeah.
Talbot's father and mother.
The president that I saw now.
Came from Charleston, South Carolina.
The late William R. Talbot that I saw
Charleston,
in person.
South Carolina. And I've been to the Talbot estate in Charleston. Road 14, the place is called. 14 Road in South Carolina, in Charleston.
So I mean, we Liberian, we're not pronouncing or we are not calling the right group the right name.
No, we're not. We're not.
What we look at everybody now because of the relationship that the American Liberian and the Congo people had, and they had kids. So we just call all of them Congo people.
Congo people. We call educated people Congo people.
Yeah.
Congo became a title.
Yes.
Congo later on in Liberia, like now, Congo is a title in Liberia. If your name can be Flomo
Thank you.
Besa,
Yeah.
and you are educated and civilized, and you're sending your children to the best of schools, and you are quote unquote rich or well-to-do and educated, you Congo. You're a Congo man. Yeah.
We really got that. It was screwed up. That's like
Yeah. So to be honest with this panel, I just want to let you know something that, and what I want y'all to know before we continue is that there's this, our most major problem with regards to development, moving forward, progress and development, we need mental rehabilitation first.
Oh yeah, we definitely do.
Every Liberian.
We definitely do.
Mental rehabilitation.
And why you say that?
I say it because the mindset of Liberians have been ruined. How many Liberians will sit down and will be ready to listen to the actual status of their self as a person or their actual historicity? You know, how many Liberians want that? How many Liberians are patient to do that? You know, and if you can't change the mindset, I tell you what, the people, when the coup happened in 1980, we'll start from there. When the coup happened in 1980, right? It wasn't every American Liberian that was in the government, but every American Liberian was a target.
Yeah.
1990, it wasn't every crown. They have about 2 or 3 types of crown, different kind of crown. Samuel Doe is from one crown, other people from other crown. But guess what? Crown, the ethnic group crown, was generalized and were targeted. Samuel Doe, vice versa, targeted every Gil. Whether you were from Belaglier, or you were from Seklepie, or you were from Blood Diala, or you were from Duo. You understand what I'm saying?
From Boplay.
Or you from Boplay, or Tiaplay, or Camplay. You were considered one Gil, and you were a target if you were unfortunate.
If you're Mano, you're a target.
And if you're Mano, you're a target only because you're from Nimba County.
Yeah.
All right? So if you were Mandingo, for example, if you are Mandingo, whether you're Mandingo from Mali, or you're Mandingo from
anywhere,
Guinea, or you're Mandingo from Cote d'Ivoire, or you're Mandingo from Benin, or you're Mandingo from Burkina Faso, or you're Mandingo from the Gambia, you got Mandingo from Senegal. The Mandinka people are all over Africa. So once you are Mandingo in Liberia, you become a target. Now, so that's what I'm talking about, the psychological rehabilitation of our people. Or else we're not going nowhere. Let me tell you something. They got 35-year-old grudges that still exist today.
Yes.
But we're talking about presidents now, so I can't go deep into that. But there are grudges.
And then, but you know, there's a lot of them. But just when you come to William Albert Tubber, you tell the rules of William Albert Tubber.
Your favorite president?
Yeah, I love him because I saw him live.
I see. We're gonna let you really like everything.
My man, I used to enjoy the probably hat. Like those cowbells, something on his white cigar. He was a blood boy.
Tubber was a reverend.
Yeah,
Tubman smoked the cigar.
Tubman smoked. William Albert Tubber was a bluff man. The first thing he car very low. He want people to see him. With king in here, he loved white.
Favorite color?
Always white.
Yeah.
And those days, when you go to Bensonville, Bento, you see like the outside of
Bento actually looks like a U.S. suburb.
Sparta, but William Aratoba,
Was he one of the
impactful? Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Talbot,
and I saw him live. So
was
we know. We're not telling this.
1934 graduate of the University of Liberia College.
What made him impactful in that?
Yeah, coming to that.
Thank you.
Went into politics, became a representative from Montserrat County. Later on, became vice president of Liberia under William V.S. Tubman. Served for 19 years. The longest serving vice president Liberia ever had was William Richard Talbot, Reverend Dr. William Richard Talbot. Now, here's his impact. Talbot became president of Liberia after the death of President William Vekenera Shadrach Tubman, who died in London in 1971, in July of 1971, from medical complications, prostate cancer. When Talbot became president, Talbot's first impact on Liberia was trying in every way possible, every way negotiable, to make Liberia an independent country trade-wise. Meaning, Talbot prioritized agriculture and created the Green Revolution.
Policy.
Self-reliance in food production was his first policy. His second policy was total involvement for higher heights. Meaning, for Liberia to evolve from one tiny African country with a lot of natural resources and everything, holistically, all of us have to come together to build total involvement for higher heights, to build up Liberia, to make Liberia excel higher. So he had a Green Revolution, self-reliant food production. Then he had Rally Time. Rally Time was every working Liberian by maybe 50 cents or $1 to go into government coffers, accounted for, so that the government could start projects. Tolbert was the first president of Liberia paying taxes, but you're seeing where it's going. Tolbert was the first president of Liberia to build a low-cost, low-income housing estate. Amilcar Cabral Estate on the Old Road. Tolbert was the first guy to build another estate, was the same guy that built the Stephen Allen Tolbert Memorial Estate, named after his brother Stephen A. Tolbert, who was one of Liberia's richest men and Minister of Finance and owner of the Mesherado Group of companies. A company that brought in over 25% of Liberia's national income.
So hold on, he was Minister of Finance on his brother?
On his brother. Okay. He died in a plane crash in Sino. Then, Tolbert did not prioritize agriculture by letting people go and be cutting grass with a hand and be digging hole to put cassava inside. He tried to mechanize agriculture by bringing an agricultural company and consultancy to guide farmers in Liberia called Agrimico from Israel. Didn't stop there. Tolbert helped he died. But Tolbert helped Zimbabwe get their independence. And the day he died was the day he was flying to Zimbabwe to be keynote speaker for their independence ceremony. A country called Rhodesia that later turned to Zimbabwe. Yes. Tolbert was very impactful. Tolbert was the brainchild of ECOWAS. The ECOWAS we enjoy today, it was Tolbert's idea, the Economic Community of West African States. ECOWAS, the brain was William R. Tolbert. ECOWAS came out of Liberia.
So you would say that most of the stuff that he did, his policy was one of the key things that Seriously key, that shaped Liberia. When Tolbert died, Liberia had the third highest gross domestic product in the world. It was the United States, it was Japan, and then it was Liberia. You kidding me?
I'm being very real. No shit about it.
Wow.
I didn't know that at all.
Oh, yes. So Tolbert...
So he was definitely...
Tolbert was the guy. You know, a lot of people who understand governance and international relations, if you talk to them, they will tell you Tolbert was the guy. He just wasn't given the opportunity.
And you see what Spot is saying over there? Tolbert had a Gardnersville Bell.
Yeah, okay, the Somalia Drive.
Industrial Park, Somalia Drive.
Industrial Park.
So, had the biscuit factories. All of the companies were down there.
Tolbert brought in Pioneer Biscuit. Owned by Liberian government.
Yeah.
Chicken soup factory, Maggie Q. Soup that Tolbert made in
Shoes factory.
Tolbert brought in
Lone Star matches.
The people used to make sneakers like the Converse.
The Converse,
making it right here. So, Leker was the first Leker in Africa.
So can I ask you a question?
Right.
And I just want to, we're still on the same topic, but I just wanted to say that.
Right.
So do you think Tolbert's execution was a strategy from outside because of what he was doing to his own people? Because it's like, what I'm hearing, because when people see that, I think the native were like, oh, we got to get rid of the people there and something, but it was a bigger picture. Did you think that there was a foul play being played from outsider instead of it just being an inside job?
There are a lot of theories.
Okay.
There are multiple theories regarding the assassination of President Tolbert. Those theories range from Tolbert refusing for the United States to establish her largest military base in Africa, in Liberia. And he also advised that and their other two options were Senegal and Cameroon, and he told Mahamadou Ahidjo, who was president of Cameroon at the time, and he told Leopold Sédar Senghor, who was president of Senegal at the time, for it to not happen. And that meeting was held at the Ducal Intercontinental Hotel up Broad Street. Right now. That meeting was held. So the Americans, under President Gerald Ford, started to have problems with Talbot. Because Talbot's idea was Pan-Africanism. Talbot's idea was not the same idea of his predecessor, William V.S. Tubman. Tubman was closer to the Americans. Talbot was the first Liberian president to visit the continent of Asia. Talbot visited China. Red flag for America. One of his policies, thank you so much for the question, Daddy Rich. Talbot created the non-aligned policy, meaning, I got no special friend.
Anybody can be my friend.
Anybody can be my friend. Communist, Democratic, Marxist, Socialist, you can be my friend. Once I'm not interfering in your domestic politics, you're not interfering in my domestic politics. If you see I need help, we keep it on the surface. Let's do this. You my boy, right? So we will have interchangeable stuff going with students, student exchanges, educational swapping. You understand? Just name it, that will benefit both countries. Non-aligned. America didn't like it. So there are theories. There are theories, and there's a mean theory that America instrumented the assassination of Talbot. Because to be very honest with you, Samuel Doe and the 16 other non-commissioned officers had no military training
to execute that well.
At that level, to carry on that level of subversion on the president of the Republic. No, they did not have it. I'll be very honest with you, they did not have it. So something, now, the pathetic thing about it is that none of us will actually know how Talbot actually died. When I say how Talbot actually died, the mastermind behind the execution of President Talbot will never fully be known. Now, when you saw me in Minnesota, I had a 12-day chit-chat. I told him about every day for 12 days. The 12 days I was in your town. I sat with the late Marcel Burley Holder, Minister of National Security under Talbot, and son-in-law of the president, married to the president's oldest daughter, Willie. You understand? I sat with him. Now, when I talk from in-depth information. I don't just talk. I've been blessed to meet the actors. I've been blessed to have met some of the key role players. And I met with Burley Holder. And we had a father-son conversation as Minister of National Security.
Key role.
And then Minister of National Defense. Burley Holder was the first Minister of National Security of the Republic of Liberia because Talbot created the Ministry of National Security and made his son-in-law the head because of the security significance. You understand me? And Burley Holder told me, son, it's bigger than we ever know it. I was fortunate to have gotten around the Talbots. Victoria Talbot, we gonna know that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, in the early 90s, and I met Mother Vic. Mother Vic, I was one of the first to read a book, Lifted Up. And Mother Vic will not give you a vivid story about the execution of her husband because she was tensed, she was traumatized, she had never been through anything like that before, but she witnessed the death of her husband. But the people were masked. People were wearing masks, people were painted. The only person Mrs. Talbot actually remembered in that room, in that living room that morning was the late Falavani. And the reason she remembered Falavani was because, Daddy Rich, certain people, even if they paint their face, even if they do makeup, you will make them up from someone. She said Falavani's pointed nose and his thin lips, a fair complexion. That's where Labrimpo misconstrued and said, Victoria Talbot said, where he no. She did not say where he read the book. over and over. Nowhere in her book is it white hair. No. She said he had Caucasian physical features, meaning, Caucasian people look different from you and me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
White people look different from us. White people got thin lips, they got pointed noses, you know what I mean? They're different.
Yeah.
So, and Falavani had Caucasian morphology. So she said, yeah, Falavani, I saw this person, Masman, I'm only 6 men, because 6 men actually went into the suite. So she said 6 men, and I made up Falavani.
And Sparta, so those 6 guys, they went there, they never bothered her.
No, they raped her.
Oh, okay.
The gang raped her after
So
they killed 9. They killed 9 of the children out in the apartment. 9.
His children?
Talbot children, grandchildren, adopted children. Every country Talbot went when they had the crisis in Africa, he adopted 2 children from there. So Ethiopia was in war at the time. Jesu Alamarian had just overthrown Haile Selassie. He brought 2 children from Ethiopia. He had 2 children from Central African Republic that was in war too. Yeah. So he had some foreign children there. He had his grandchildren. Some of his grandchildren. A.B. Talbot lost a child there, not by his wife, by a girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sparta, that these are things people don't know.
No, they don't.
We have refugees from Addis Ababa here.
In Liberia, now they Talbot brought people from
that the
Ethiopia
government
here. Government were paying stipend and taking care of. People from Chad were here. When the war was on in Chad, when there was fighting in Chad. Yeah. With what a guy named Hisni Habri in Chad, yeah.
So they killed all these kids in that room.
Yeah.
And nobody talking about it.
And the woman who was minding the children, she just died about 3 years ago. Mamuna.
Yeah.
She died around 11th Street.
I think William Arrow Talbot was a doctor who was returning now, because from that OAU summit they had there, Hotel Africa, because all of the top-notch West African leaders,
53 of them,
flew to Liberia.
Africa was represented here.
Yeah.
Now, this is the first OAU conference that every president, they didn't send a representative. 53 African presidents landed in Monrovia.
Yeah.
So
Hotel Africa.
Talk about impact. Man.
Yeah.
Talbot built Hotel Africa in the OAU village.
OAU village.
Talbot was president of the OAU in 1979, 1 year before he died.
And Sparta,
replacing Gaffer El Nimeri from Sudan.
Sparta, just to hold you there, that's something I've noticed. When we're watching that documentary, most people don't know, when they're having that documentary, the old documentary, Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana.
Right, right.
When Talbot travel on and come back, you will see Kwame Nkrumah very young.
Yeah.
Among these people there, I don't know that were Talbot Peking or they were training him here.
Well, Nkrumah.
Who was Kwame Nkrumah back then?
Nkrumah, there's rumors. Now, this is not proven.
Yeah, and just recently said people were talking about it that he's a Liberian, but
friends is weird, But the thing about Nkrumah was,
I think you learned
Nkrumah was what we saying, like, bro, crowd boy, right?
Yeah, crowd boy.
He was Talbot's mate in age. Talbot age mate. No, Nkrumah a little older than Talbot. Topman, who we come into right after this, was a mentor to Nkrumah with regards to African solidarity, Pan-Africanism, advices, and everything like that. Because Nkrumah, the formation of the OAU was in Liberia. But it's to another guy. So I don't want to talk about it. I will get to that, Wigo.
Okay.
I will get to that.
Okay.
So Talbot, like I said, Talbot was a very impactful president in the history of Liberia. Okay, another thing Talbot did. All the multilateral schools you see around Liberia, like that Fungiman multilateral, I think you heard of. Now you ever heard of Fungiman multilateral and Swedru multilateral?
I heard about Swedru.
Okay, so they had all these multilateral schools were schools that Talbot solicited assistance from outside to build in the Leeward counties, to decentralize the educational system in Liberia. And Talbot's plans were to, in decentralizing education, have colleges, universities in every county so that if you graduate, for example, you graduate from college, high school in, say, Cape Mount, you don't have to come to Monrovia. You graduate high school in Swedru, you don't have to come to Monrovia to go to the University of Liberia. Because at the time, there were only 2 universities in the entire country. It was Cottington College of Divinity, that you call Cottington University today, and the University of Liberia. But through Talbot, LAMCO opened Wallenberg, a vocational college.
What was that? Yekepa or Buchanan?
Wallenberg is Buchanan.
Buchanan, all right.
VTC was Yekepa, LAMCO too, Vocational Training Center.
Yeah.
Up to associate degree level.
Okay.
Then you had BWI was always there.
Yeah, Booker Washington
but then the
Institute.
government was giving BWI subsidy.
Okay.
That stopped when Doe became president.
All right. And that'll reach. I know we stay here, but Spada, you know, we came from JJ Roberts to William Albert Turner.
So I go back.
Yeah, I do go back a little bit to because William V.S. Totman, my late father. Oh, Totman time.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, Totman time. Say, but what was happening over there? Everything was very cheap. So I just want you to elaborate a little bit about William V.S. Totman before we say goodbye to you, because we really learned a lot from you, and I want to appreciate you for today. Yeah, so let's talk about William V.S. Totman.
Let me get one question from Mara. Mara, what's up?
Mara, what's up? They're asking you.
I'm learning.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So I can go ahead?
learning. You can go ahead.
Okay, so Topman.
William V.S. Totman.
William Vakanarat Shadrach Topman. Born in 1895 in Maryland County. Parents from Savannah, Georgia.
The haircut was absolute unique. Who is a cut up over here?
Topman hair?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That haircut.
But my pa used to call it Tontono.
Yeah.
Topman
We grew up calling it the Totman style.
Topman style. Yeah, he cut that hair whole life.
Right here, they leave it right there.
Now, this guy was a guy who was considered the great modernizer. Topman. And there was a very positive side of Topman. There's a very negative side of Topman.
Oh, Aaron, I took you back, but quickly before we go there, I want you to tell Daddy Rich and Myron about what William Albert Topman did in Maryland to like going to the Yancey Allison.
You talking about the structure?
Yeah, no, like he came up with that, so he killed the killers, you know, at that time.
Oh, that was Talbot. Okay,
yeah, Talbot,
so finally about Talbot, right?
For Talbot, yeah.
Talbot.
Yeah, we'll go back because that story that I know about. Yeah.
In the criminal justice system, right? Maryland was known for what they call now in modern days, they call it skin trade. Skin trade, ritualistic killings, right? Where people kill people, where you find dead bodies, you know, on the street, eye parts extracted, eye gone, the genitals cut off, you know, ear cut off, and people said to kill a man for sacrifice, you know, and stuff like that. It was crazy in Maryland.
It was hard.
It was crazy in Maryland. And some of the most educated people and most civil people came from Maryland. But yet it's still in their county, especially their capital, Harper. It was crazy. People, my mother grew up in Harper. My late mother went to Our Lady of Fatima in Harper. Then later on, she came to Monrovia, went to BW Harris, and then graduated and blah, blah, blah. Got a degree in child education and stuff. But in Harper, you never wanted to send your child right next door after 6 o'clock.
No.
Liberian Standard Time. No, Liberia had their own time. Liberia had their own time. It was Talbot that changed it to GMT. Liberia had Liberia's Central Time.
Wow.
It was changed in 1971. But that's for another day. So
what was different?
Topman, we kept Liberian Standard Time forever. You know. Talbot, now Topman was from Maryland.
Yeah.
So Topman was getting news, getting intelligence reports that it was some of his own close buddies they were in the Masonic craft together. You know, they were tight like that. You know, those days when you and somebody in the Masonic craft, that your brother, you know. So information are coming that people from the Masonic craft, you know, top Masons, you know, their hand and were in the kind of, you know, subversive, I'm not subversive, ritualistic killings and stuff. And then Topman ignored it. Okay. Because one of those people Alan Yancey, who was a former superintendent and now representative from Maryland County, was Tubman's second cousin. So you don't want to put your blood, on the line, because you remember now the consequence in the Constitution for that kind of thing, they're hanging.
Yeah.
So you don't want to kill your cousin or something like that. When Talbot became president, fast forward, Talbot's policy when it came to murder,
do the same thing.
Kill a killer.
Kill the killer.
Oh.
So if Daddy Rich kills Spider,
they won't kill Daddy.
Excuse me. If Daddy Rich kills Spider, Daddy Rich should die too. Once he's found guilty. And under Talbot, 19 people were hung under Talbot. And 7 out of those 19 people came from Maryland County, the kid in the scene day. They hung them in 97 and 90.
I remember a lady among them, Willett Tayono.
She was the only woman among them.
Yeah, she was the only woman among them.
6 men and 1 woman.
She was from Maryland too.
Yeah, got them in Hopper 7.
Yeah.
They killed them in Hopper, 6 o'clock in the morning. Public execution, they hung them.
But what did you do?
She was the cook. When they killed the people and cut the parts, she used to cook it. And her husband was the driver for Alan Yancey. His name was Putu Due. So it was Putu Due, it was James Anderson, it was Francis Nyimpa, it was Frank, this Seaton guy, I forget his first name. Seaton, I forget his first name, I'll come back to it. Yeah, Willett Tayono, Putu Due, and another guy called Barkley.
Look, I lost that newspaper. I lost that newspaper.
They killed a killer. It was Talbot who executed Justin Obi. It was Talbot who executed Igbo Agbo. You ever heard about Igbo Agbo? No. He was a Nigerian who killed his wife, split her hair into like a watermelon. But Talbot killed all those people. So Talbot and Daddy Rich, don't forget now, Talbot was a revenue. He was a reverend. Yeah, but killer, he had to do it. That was the justice system.
Reverend,
Talbot killed his brother. He hung his brother. His brother killed his wife.
Yeah.
And so he executed, I can kill my brother, come on now.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody more than my brother.
Yeah. Kill his brother.
So now let's go back.
Yeah, let's go back to William V.S. Tubman. Yeah. We're going to close with Tubman,
No, listen. I know we're going to close with Tubman. Don't make Tubman. I want to hear about Samuel, because Samuel do one.
No, I'll tell you about that. Yeah, so I'm coming to
that. We're going to summarize. Might get a little, because Samuel
Okay, then let me go to short guys before
might get a little bit.
Let me get some short guys.
Come to the Gen Z history.
So Tubman became president in 1944, February of 1944.
William V.S. Tubman?
Yes. 1944, February. The thing that a lot of people don't know, and it's a clear fact, Tubman was not elected president of Liberia in 1943 and inaugurated in 1944. Tubman was nominated as president of the Republic of Liberia.
By who?
By President Edwin James Barkley. I'll tell you why. By 1942, midway into World War II, Barkley's health has started to decline. Not because of old age. Barkley developed a heart problem. And so Barkley by then Barkley had been president 10 years already. The presidential term at the time was 4 years. So Barkley had been president 10 years already, from 1930 to 1942. So do the math. You already now see the presidential tenure, no elections.
Right.
But everybody telling Barkley, because of their mindset, you got lesser educated people, you got a big ignorant society. So everybody happy that Barkley is still president because Barkley saved Liberia from going under the trusteeship of the League of Nations in 1929, when Charles D.B. King had a fraudulent election and was selling the crew and the Bassa people to Fernando Pupo.
I don't like to hear about him.
If we have time, I'll come back.
I don't like to hear about him.
But
what you know about it?
He sold my people. Yeah, I know about
he sold that. Yes, he did. And I will briefly tell you about it. But let me just run this Tubman thing. So in 1942, Barkley started having ill health. But then Barkley, Barkley, like I said, he was the first genuine, educated man I became president of Liberia. And he was very sound. Barkley went into the Guinness Book of World Records as one of the smartest men in the world. Yes.
It's seen Guinness.
Edwin Barkley. You seen the Guinness Book of World Records?
The same book you know about, yeah.
Wow.
And so Barkley on the highest, he had at the time he had the third highest IQ in the world. I told him he had people like Einstein and those kind of people that Barkley were way there with it. IQ wise, yes. Oh, the man that wrote the Lone Star Forever. Edwin Barkley, yeah, he was a musician. He wrote that song at the age of 18. Lone Star Forever, one of the finest anthems, second songs ever, national songs. So Edwin Barkley liked Tubman. But Tubman was not from Monrovia. Tubman was not a Monrovian. Now, Barkley tried to be so, when you're too clever, you stupid. Yeah, when you're too clever, you stupid.
When you're too clever, you suck out one way, yeah.
Barkley had a plan. And like we say in simple Liberian English, Tubman just found him for fair. Barkley's plan was they picking former senator, Liberia's youngest senator ever, 26 years old. Now they're picking as an associate justice. Yes. Now they're picking as an associate justice. Guess what? I'm picking West Stab around 7th grade.
Yeah.
7th, 8th grade.
But
he not easy. They're picking from Maryland. They're picking that kind of time. He ball. He go back, get on the ship and go back. Because that time, no road from Maryland. There's kind of ship. So Tubman used to kind of town, ball, hang with the Morel, get in, and go back. Smart. And when he was senator, and then he became associate justice in the Supreme Court, so he used to be here most of the time. And Barkley was observing him. So Barkley decided, I made a picking replace me. I treat my heart. I get better. They begin 10 things back over to me. We'll proceed from there. Am I clear here?
Yes.
I met this kid.
Smart picking.
I take this kid because Roosevelt, our his man. Yeah. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, America's president, our his man. Our Barkley man like that. Roosevelt came here when Barkley was president to visit the U.S. troops that were at Roberts Field during World War II. Because America had a base there, Roberts Field for America. The American air base. American troops were leaving from there to go to North Africa to fight against the Germans when the Germans invaded Tunisia and Algeria. So Liberia was a base, a hub for United States military mission. And in Roosevelt, the U.S. president came here and visited Barkley. Barkley and the men were hanging out. So that our Barkley man, Reverend Smith, from Edina, Grand Bassa County. So I hope you're connecting the dots now.
Yeah.
Right? So James Kerry Smith, I'm a real ball. Barkley can use him like that. But you can use Tubman like that. Tubman like young people, he cool, he free.
Maryland.
That other man, too diplomatic, they're too strict. You know what I mean? So Barkley will use one freestyler who can hang out small, enjoy power, and then carry up.
Yeah, we
already from the same party.
Sparta is talking now like too sweet. He from Freetown, he's bragging there as a landlord now. We know what's up. Mm-hmm. So smart, but I gave
So there's a two-time landlord. I can't all the top, yeah.
What you say?
But two quite say landlord, so the better landlord. What you gonna say?
Landlords are the original.
So
I hope you get it there.
Tubman is brought back to Liberia as the new president, right? As the new nominated, the newly selected president. Tubman becomes president in 1944. When the day of inauguration, Tubman is on the podium at the Centennial Pavilion because now, no, sorry, not the Centennial Pavilion, the executive pavilion, not Centennial, executive. Ash, Broad and Randall Street, right there.
Right there in the U there.
Right behind GSC. Okay. Because GSC had the old mansion, the mansion over there. So that executive pavilion.
Not far from the Tubman Monument. Yeah.
Between Gurley and Randall Street, that place sit right there.
Yeah, okay.
Just adjacent M2 store. They will know that. Mama will know that now.
Yeah.
So Tubman is on the podium as president-elect. And Tubman states in his speech, I will not, now y'all listen to this. This is catchy. I will not succumb to any consultation. I will not be a puppet to anybody. I will run Liberia my way.
Oh, after the point that?
Wow.
Edwin Bagley is sitting down looking at Tubman.
Inauguration.
Outgoing president now. He finished. He's not even outgoing, former president.
And the Megatiga do.
Yes.
The beginning of the
Dr.
game
Smith
corner,
is sitting
yeah.
down. Top people, I could name them forever, sitting there. Diplomats from foreign missions, you know what I mean, foreign dignitaries. They play pack, they play inauguration, you know what's up. They play pack. Tubman taught that thing. Edwin Bagley walked out of the hall. He got so out of control, he walked out of the hall. Edwin James Bagley.
I don't believe what he was hearing.
Tubman appointed Barclay's best friend, Samuel David Coleman, as Secretary of Interior. Those days, they didn't have Minister of this, Minister that. Secretary of Interior, it had Minister of Internal Affairs.
Okay.
Secretary of Interior, Samuel David Coleman. William E. Dennis, Secretary of Treasury, like say Finance Minister. And on and on and on and on and on. Paul Dunbar, Director of Police. Bagley picking it. Bagley's pissed. Tubman goes, so do the math. 45, 46, 47, 48. So it'll be election. Right? 1948 will be election, yeah. Kind of 4 years.
Yeah.
By 1948, Tubman even mentioned election Benin. 49 king. 48 power, 49 king. All of 49. Tubman ain't mentioned that thing. Tubman ain't mentioned that thing, I mean.
But that's automatic for the
1950.
Dodo election.
Automatically, election. Tubman ain't even thinking about that. Tubman smoking a cigar. Tubman hanging out with America. Tubman chilling. America too. Then Roosevelt dies. So Harry Truman becomes president of the United States. When Harry Truman became president, Truman ain't got time for that pure business. And you know what I mean? America, Jeff and War, they put thinking about how to straighten their country, Argentina, their economy. They put on thinking about small Liberia. So Tubman balling now, no pressure, you know, no pressure. So 1951, Bagley said, come on now. I want to, you know.
So Bagley trying to come back.
Bagley come back.
Okay,
Yeah,
help was okay then.
Yeah, Bagley help, all right. So 51, Bagley said, come on, there should be elections. Bagley's confused. Then, guess what happens?
What happened, man?
A young man comes from the U.S. by the name of Dido Twe. D-Twe, you heard about D-Twe?
Yeah, D-Twe.
Dido Twe, D-Twe High School. Dido Twe came from the States. And he was the first indigenous man, crewman. When America he was 6 years old. Came by here around.
Wait, he's related to the artist D-Twe?
No.
No, I don't know.
What all crew to go be, I
But
mean.
crew people say, no.
You know, crew people.
But D-Twe comes.
Anyway.
D-Twe comes. And guess what? D-Twe is married. Now see, beef now. There's a beef coming up. D-Twe is married to Tubman's ex-wife, Arminta. Arminta Dent Twe. Her maternal last name is Dent. So D-Twe can talk, Tubman gets pissed. What the hell you came to do here, you know? But then, from the appearance of D-Twe, Tubman's dictatorial habit starts to come up. D-Twe brought all the dictator in Tubman. You understand?
So was he like a threat to Tubman?
Big threat, because if this man is qualified, is eligible to run for the presidency, you know, for the first time in the history of the country, the native people, because at the time, Tubman gave the native people the right to vote, because they never had right to vote. Up until Tubman became president, country man couldn't vote.
Kidding me?
No. Voting eligibility, you had to be 18 years old, you had to be American Liberian, you had to be a property owner or heir to property. If you get everyone they hit on from the no, you couldn't do that.
Wow.
You understand? So Tubman got just giving them the right Then D12 king. So, you know, I mean, the crew and the Baza people, they will go over D12. On the Southeast now, go over D12. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know?
And he, William Villa, talk about, he never used to sit down here.
He never used to sit down here. Talk about a chiller. Talk about the Lila brother in 3 months, 6 months. Talk about in here yacht, private yacht. You don't see. He hanging out in Italy, Turkey, Greece, UK.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he hanging out with presidents and kings and queens and shit. Sorry for this shit. I mean, excuse my French.
I mean, it's a you know
what I'm saying? So, Topman sees D12 as a threat. Barkley sees D12 as an opportunity. Like I said, Barkley very smart, man. Barkley said, listen, D12, let's merge and get rid of the guy. They got a tyrant. So they formed the Independent True Whig and Reformation parties. So it was a coalition. The Independent True Whig and Reformation parties was birthed. D12 and Barkley. Earlier, I said Paul Dunbar was with police. I said David Como was with Department of Interior. Where intended the Barkley boys. So by that Barkley formed the party, Topman closed all the men straight. Topman closed all the men straight. No, it's second minute. Topman got rid of the men instantly. And then just get rid of them. Got rid of them with charges.
Wow.
Treason and sedition. You know, treason and sedition depended on that. The men say, y'all won't kill me. Yeah. So to survive, you gotta flee. And if you flee the country, you're a fugitive. Fugitive is not a legal man. So the men, most of the men give it. D12 ran to Sierra Leone. You know? Paul Dunbar was jailed. Christmas Lawrence was jailed. Momolu Massacre was jailed. Dr. Edwin Murray Barkley, President Barkley's nephew, Dr. Edwin Murray Barkley, was jailed. Yeah. And I'm talking about Bella Yala, brother. Nobody seen you. You wearing the Bella Forest, Bella Yala, maximum step in attention.
Hard labor. Yeah, you do hard labor.
You do hard labor. You got one cut pop up there. So now 2, 3 trees, they say Harley. Yeah, you like a lumberjack. And so by 1955, Topman said, okay, we have election. All of you are free to come out home, you know. And guess what?
What?
1 month prior to elections, election should be in July, in June of 1955, Topman accused Paul Dunbar.
Who's supposed to be a running mate?
No, Paul Dunbar from the ITWP, from the ITWP, the former police guy.
Okay. He was with him, the closing.
Man say Paul Dunbar okay. And in fact, that Edwin Barkley sent Paul Dunbar, Edwin Barkley and David Como sent Paul Dunbar to King. So you know what the man did? The man killed David Como, the man killed Paul Dunbar, the man killed Booker Briswell. Oh, I forgot to call Booker Briswell. He was the chairman of the party, a radical, hot guy. Booker Briswell. Booker T. Briswell. He's Charles Taylor's cousin. Even that what Taylor get the heat from.
So technically, you're trying to, what I'm saying.
He killed everybody besides D12 and Barkley.
Technically, if this Doe war or coup wasn't going to be what it is right now, back then we should have had coup back then.
Plenty.
A lot of people were getting upset.
We should have had a coup. Yeah, people are pissed. The country are not running the way it should be run. You know what I'm saying? But Topman was the kind of dictator who had his foot on security. The way Topman operated, it was because of Topman's faults that Topman got killed. Now, I just want you to understand these things. Topman made some major mistakes. Topman just walked into the area. So the people who couldn't get rid of Topman, they got rid of Topman.
Oh.
Guy, vice president for 19 years now. Come on, man. Yeah, so
all that time, William V.S. Topman there, William Aaron Topman balling a VP.
Topman, you're balling. All Topman doing, got Topman running. No, Topman running. Imagine, Topman's security system was in a way that you couldn't overthrow Topman. Imagine they had NSA, they had MBI, they had CRD, they had police, then they had the PRO. You know what the PROs were?
No.
Us here, the PRO now. We on salary from government. Well, government worker making $45, $50. PRO making $150. You know our job?
No.
I just say, Myron, talk about you, Mr. President. I just go to the police station and say, oh, I'm getting Myron, talk about the president. You know, Myron says some negative things about the president.
Myron finish.
Myron, they're coming for you. And they're not coming for you, but you, Myron, gonna sit down and have to explain what you did or what you didn't do or what you say, what you didn't say. No. And they're not calling Wigoni, or they're not calling money, they're not calling Daddy Rich. They're coming for you, Myron. They will beat you, they will jail you. They're beating and jailing, they will do to you. When you move in there, you now talk politics that you die. Even if you have intention, you're not doing it.
Wow.
PRO. And some PRO coming about testing for you. So that means you don't talk nothing in taxi. Yeah, no, you don't talk nothing in the cab. You don't talk nothing on the bus.
Put everywhere.
You know who is who. You can't even talk in front of your man.
Just assuming when you carry information, they give you bonus.
You got bonus beside your monthly salary.
Yeah.
But you will sack
So
you.
poor lie.
You can't. It will sack you if you can't carry information.
Yep.
Wow.
So now you got NBI, you got CID, you got police, you got what do people need? You got CID, you got NBI, you got NSA, you got PRO.
So
there's no way.
Who were referred to at the NBI?
National Bureau of Investigation.
Apart from NSA?
Yes.
Oh.
No, tight.
So the main security apparatus were too tight. So Topman lasted for 27 years quietly. They had 3 elections at Bureau. Topman, the first election, nobody he ran uncontested because all the men were either in jail or he exiled. 1955. The next election came in 1960. Running water. It was under his administration that the port was completed. It was under his administration that
27 years.
That a lot of companies came here. You know, Lamco came here, Bong Mines came here, Lebink, the palm oil company came here, AFC, African Fruit Company came here, Vampla came here, the plywood company, Vampla came here, CNC came here.
The rubber company came on here? Firestone?
No, Firestone came on the King.
Okay.
Charles B. King.
I think, believe me, that's what I told you. I said, we have to figure out a way to get Spider here back because, the thing is, this man's a walking history book.
Encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia, like Brent, encyclopedia.
He's so
but the thing
loaded.
is, I think we're getting having coming back on another episode because this story, I'm loving it. I mean, for me, I love to get information.
Like I didn't know our history was this sweet.
You didn't know
Please into the ears.
Yes. You know, and I think to have just one episode, and I think we might do a second. Maybe that down the line we'll do third, fourth, and fifth.
I don't want us to brag. We're gonna appeal to him to bring him back on the next episode because these are information that a lot of people are gonna learn from. You just hear from our stage. I don't know that.
Right.
So I think we're gonna bring him on the next episode today. So part 2, Aaron Cleaner gonna be our special guest, and apparently we'll be talking about Liberian history again. But then we're gonna go, with something else. Probably, when we get there, then we're gonna discuss it. Yeah.
So, Spider, I want to say thanks for coming on our show today. Like we said, we are very pleased to have you. We love what you're saying. We appreciate all the information you're giving us, and like we said, we were going to have you back yet again. We hope that people that are listening to the show can learn something new because we ourselves are learning something.
Yeah.
And the purpose of this show today is to keep you guys informed because knowledge is power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got other shows that we're going to talk about the fun part. We're going to talk about our Judan. We're going to talk about our wife. But this is something that when we had it on our schedule to have Spider in here, I said, this is something that I know people, most especially people in the diaspora, been waiting to get information like this. So when we talk here, Spider got a whole lot, but we're going to be back with him again. Once again, I want to say thanks for coming to our show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And on that note, we're going to see you guys next week. But before we go, we want you to do us a favor. Don't forget to go and subscribe to our channel.
Go and subscribe.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I mean? And if you want to sponsor the show, we still got space for you to sponsor our show.
Right.
Yeah. Go and subscribe.
So, Myron, get the last word, and then we can get last word, and we can get out of here.
Well,
go and subscribe, guys.
I never used to be the type to like history because I felt like our history teachers, they were not giving it to us like real. It was just on the surface. Even I said I really know much about it. Okay. They're just in the classroom.
In addition to Marin, we're talking about Mali. We're not talking about Liberian history. You're talking about, the other country there. So, you're not enjoying it. You see, I enjoy it.
So, thank you. I feel so...
You're welcome.
I don't know how I feel, but I know I feel something in